So, once again, welcome everyone. And those of us who are joining for the first time, as well as uh, our old Sangha members, wishing you a very happy Raksha Bandhan once again. Mm, we'll begin with our posture. Wherever we are, whether we are on our chairs or cushions, so we'll just settle in and we'll take three deep breaths first to begin with, wherever we are right now. If we are on the chairs, we'll make sure that we sit uh, straight with our feet touching the ground. Will not, lean too much on the back or on the front. Those of us who are on the cushions uh, will follow the our traditional uh, seven-pointed Verochana posture that we have been discussing in the past three sessions. Those of us who are joining for the first time will have the basic instructions once again. So we'll begin with our, you know, whether we are sitting in a cross-legged, full lotus or half lotus position, or in the Burmese style, where uh, our one leg is in front of the other leg, or the traditional full lotus, which is, full cross-leg, or half lotus with one leg uh, slightly open. Moving forward to our hands, we'll keep them in the traditional method with the right hand over the left hand and the thumbs joining, forming a triangle. And the hands near the navel on the lap. Then we'll focus on our back and we'll imagine as if there is a string pulling us up. The idea is to have, you know, not to force our back to be straight. It's just a natural way of pulling up yourself. And in a very relaxed position, our back has to be straight. Then comes our tongue. The tongue has to touch the upper palate, which helps in reduction of the saliva while we are practicing. Then the other point in the 7 point Virochana posture is our head. Our head has to be slightly tilted forward. Coming to the eyes. In the last three sessions, we saw that we are developing this habit not to fully close our eyes during the practice. The reason being because ultimately we have to understand that it's not the eye consciousness which meditate, but the mind consciousness. So, and if you're going to fully close our eyes, we may, fall sleepy. So that's why from the beginning we are developing this practice to not fully close our eyes, slightly open with our gaze at the angle of 45-degree. Then the other point, the last point is our shoulders. So we have to make sure the shoulders are also straight, as if, we have an inverted T. We make an inverted alphabet T, and the shoulders have to be aligned, not drooping down, not too much up. So this is the seven-pointed Virochana posture. Come into the motivation. what is the motivation of today's session, today's practice? That um, while going deeper into this practice of breath awareness, we are beginning to understand the nature of our mind, which is same for everyone. Ultimately, through this practice, we understand that we all are driven by afflictions, which we will be studying and reflecting on in the coming sessions. And may through this practice we understand these afflictions better, so that we can uproot them and lead a happy life. The other instructions are about the two problems that we can face in a session in the breath awareness. Those of us who are new, so just repeating them uh, in summary, that either we can get too excited during our practice, which is called as mental excitation, or we can droop down or mental laxity, as they call it. So these are the two issues, these are the two problems that we can face. And what are the antidotes for that? The two antidotes are introspection and mindfulness. Introspection is that in which we have lost our focus, and the mindfulness is to bring back the mind to our object of meditation. And the last instruction is about the object. Yeah. So we I mean, in this practice, those of us who have been following it, the object of meditation is a breath, and we are focusing on the sensation, the breath sensation under our nostrils. And one way to do it, when we inhale, we can feel the warm sensation, and when we exhale, the cool sensation. So that is our object of meditation for today's session and also in the coming sessions. So with these instructions in mind, it's 9:10. We'll go into the two rounds of breath awareness, and then take a 30-second break, and then another round. Because at the beginning level, we don't want to exceed for more than 10 minutes. Eventually come into, let's say, 15 minutes, 24 minutes, not more than that. So we'll begin the first round. We can slowly come out of our practice. It's highly recommended that we do not exceed more than 5 minutes to begin with, because the idea is not to just sit, for long hours. That is going to strain our mind. So our teachers always guide us that to begin with 5 minutes, then a break, and then another 5 minutes, maximum 24 minutes in a day. So we can take a 30-second break. We can just stretch our body and then once again align our body to the posture. So we'll maybe few new people. So at the end, we can take, we can just summarize some of the instructions. Yeah, we'll do that towards the end. So whenever you're ready, so we can go for the second round. Just be aware of the two errors and the two antidotes. That's very, very important. So we'll begin the second round. So we'll slowly come out of our practice. There may have been moments where we got too much excited during our practice, or that that mind losing the focus, losing the point of the object of meditation, uh, and also at times when we became too uh, grouped down, too sleepy. So the antidotes that we employed, and with practice, will be mastering these two antidotes. One is the introspection, and the other is the mindfulness. And the analogy that we have been sharing, yeah, we'll take that question. Thank you, Sucheta. So will be the analogy that we shared is as if we have a dog at our home and we know that the dog has run away. So that introspection is that awareness that dog is not there. But the mindfulness is bringing back the dog and maybe, with love, tying it to a place so that it does not run away again. That is the mindfulness. And thank you, Sucheta. I think, yeah, that's the idea that, and I think we can, uh, with time, we can extend this, let's say 10 minutes and then a break and then a 10 minutes. See, the idea is to uh, go in a stepwise manner. And because it's a mixed group of uh, old Sangha members and new Sangha members, so that's why it has to be balanced. But thank you for sharing your comment. And yeah, the last thing is, in the last session, after the guided shamatha practice, this um, calmness, we also have another um, type of meditation, which is the analytical meditation. And as discussed last time, that now we'll be slowly discussing and going deep into those aspects of meditation as well. So analytical meditation is basically about going deeper and analysis of any topic in question. And since we started with forgiveness in the last session, so I thought maybe in the last 2 minutes we'll just talk more about forgiveness, and then we'll wrap up with the dedication. Um, in the last session, we ended up with posing these two questions. What are the limits of forgiveness, and if it is possible to forgive and not forget. Um, so I'll be just sharing, with 1 minute. And those who think, who don't want to like engage in this practice, they can also switch off their, like video, and then they can also practice the same third round of uh, breath awareness. It's up to you, because it's an individual practice. So I think I just wanted to share that since there is no collective guilt in the society, and does one person has the right to forgive on behalf of others? Uh, I think no. And this idea is coming from the book that I've been recently reading, The Sunflower, The Limits and the Possibilities of Forgiveness. And so I think one takeaway that I have taken from that book, and maybe we can share it, uh, we can think on it, and in the next session you can come up with your views on that. That no individual capacity should be forgiving on a collective basis. because that is doing injustice to uh, the others who have suffered. And forgetting, definitely, yes. Uh, we should not forget because then uh, that leads to the danger of that thing being repeated. And since this is happening in the world, we have so many wars happening, genocides are happening in the world, in different countries, and so we should not forget that. Um, but doing the analysis of what led to that, what were the different mental afflictions, deep rooted. Because in that book, it was written that the war does not start with, people going to the battle. It starts with when one shouts at the rickshawala, let's say, or, the taxi driver. That is the point when the war starts. And when we lose our cool and we shout at that person in anger and making that person subhuman, that is where the war starts. So we can reflect on these things that where does the forgiveness also start? And so that is what I wanted to share. Uh, if there are any points, we definitely can, post in the WhatsApp group, or sorry, better is that in the next session we begin with the taking your feedback, because I realize that in the meditation session, we should have at least 5 minutes left also for interaction and for clearing our doubts. And on Mondays and Thursdays, when I would be leading, so we can have that space at the end. And you all are welcome to join us on Friday. Sorry, on Thursday. I beg your pardon. Yeah, sure. We'll do that, Arpita. We have one. I think let's have one complete session on analytical meditation on forgiveness. Maybe on Thursday we can have that. Okay, because breath awareness will be doing, but let's have one session on analytical and Thursday. And so we'll dedicate today's session by recollecting, first of all, rejoicing that whatever merits that we have generated, let's rejoice. Whether it was 10 minutes practice or just 5 minutes practice, let's rejoice that we came together and we started to train our mind, um, which is training happens in these steps. So let's rejoice. And I always have to smile because I am feeling very happy that I took this time. So let's rejoice and dedicate our merits to to ourselves, that we did it we did a good job, and also thanking everyone, our surrounding factors, like we had good electricity. I mean, I was facing some unstable internet, but we moved on. So we'll dedicate to them, to all the causal factors, to our surrounding, to our family members who are there around. Also, we'll dedicate for the long life of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, who has always guided us, and we pray for his well-being and health to guide us, and also to our teachers for the swift return of our teacher Lama Zopa Rinpoche, who took the aspect of passing away last year. May he return back very soon and guide us. And this awareness that we all are same, that uh, kind of that thought, we are rejoicing that it has come to our mind and made grow and grow and grow. Thank you.